There are very few meats that come close to the Jamaican jerk chicken. It comes from a long culture of dried meats prepared in West Africa, Ghana in particular. Today we're going to take a look at how to prepare the seasoning, a dry rub seasoning rather than the sauce. Because it's for me it's much richer. It's a much richer flavor because it's more concentrated. It's dried. You can get more out of dried seasoning than actually the fresh one because it's more concentrated. We will begin by taking a look at some of the basic elements that make up a dry rub. You don't need a fancy group of seasoning to actually do this. So let's take a look at the lineup of dried seasoning that I've selected for us to use. A jerk seasoning will not be jerk seasoning without these basic elements. If you want to be fancy, you can add on to the jerk seasoning. Just be careful not to take it away from the flavor itself because it has a particular flavor. All right. First, you want to take a look at, if you want to do this, you're going to have to use a basic general all-purpose seasoning. All right, I'm planning on using 6 ounces of regular all-purpose seasoning because that has the salt in it. It has different spices and creates a perfect base for that seasoning. Then we look at the essential other elements of the seasoning, starting with ginger. Ginger, nutmeg, onion powder, garlic powder, grounded cinnamon, allspice, thyme. Allspice, if you don't recognize what allspice is, it's actually what we call pimento in Jamaica. It's called allspice because the British, when they first used this berry, it reminded them very much of the use of cinnamon, the use of cloves, the use of certain anstar and certain other tangy, spicy berries. So they call it allspice because to them it served as all of those many different spices. All right, so in a minute we're going to start combining all of these, and I have the quantities for you. You don't have to be specific with it. You can do it to your taste, but there are certain basic elements you must make sure that you achieve when doing this. And we have all the basics here right now to combine. Hi, you're in tune to my YouTube channel, Wake Up and Live. This is Bobby Montego. And today we're going to start, we're going to combine the dried seasoning to create a dry rub for the Jamaican jerk seasoning. And we're going to begin with the all-purpose seasoning. All right, this is 6 ounces of all-purpose seasoning. We're going to dump everything into this container. All right, there we go. All right, so we're going to use the cover of this container to actually measure the rest of them, because the only one that we need a complete dump from would be the all-purpose, because this is the base. All right, so this will make up 50% of the entire seasoning. So all-purpose, so we'll use the cover to measure 6 or 7 different spices that will get dumped into it, along with some brown sugar. All right, so here we go. So the cover as the measure, we're gonna start with, let's start with the garlic powder. All right, so we'll measure it off. There we go. Counting, and we don't have to be too precise. Just enough for that good flavor. Now, garlic happened to be one of those things that will help to suppress the bacteria in the meat, because jerk was originally